Philly. Philly, 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 Philly. Philly. Philly, 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 Philly. Have y'all ever had a Philly cheesesteak? Have y'all had a cheesesteak from Philly? Because Philly is no longer known as the cheesesteak capital. You know what Philly is known for? Simps, pimps, drug dealers, and stolen cars. Simps, pimps, drug dealers, and stolen cars. I heard that they got some kind of initiative where they're trying to clean up Kensington Avenue temporarily. Philly, 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 Philly. Shout out to Philly. Where the police commissioner, the woman said, I'm leaving Philly and I'm going over to greener pastures in order to work at the docks over there in New York. Said, 50 years old, working at McDonald's. Anton, can I take your order? Yes, you can. And I want my fries hot, 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 hot. I want my fries hot. Let's get it popping over in Philly, y'all.
The number of cars stolen in Philadelphia has never been higher.
It is an historic figure right now that police say is so big it can't be tackled without better technology. Chief investigative reporter Joe Holden found the Philadelphia Police Department is seriously lacking the tools to curb stealing cars.
Sonny Smith's brand new Kia was stolen right out front of his home at 5th and York in North Philadelphia.
I got up that morning. I looked at my camera, I took a double look, I said, my car gone. I came outside, glass in the street. I said, I didn't stole it.
And then
shout out to the Kia boys. Kia boys is on the prowl. Kia boys is out here on the prowl. They said, I want your car, I gots to have it. I want you, and I gots to have you. Ain't nothing like waking up to go outside, to go to work in the morning, and you are a tax-paying citizen, a law-abiding citizen, and you see glass on the ground for somebody that don't even value your stuff that you worked so hard to get.
later that same day, Smith was in disbelief again.
The kicker was, I had got a rental from my insurance company, the same car. Me and my wife sitting here watching TV, 12 o'clock at night. I said, I know, excuse my French, I know, well, they're not trying to get that car. Damn it, they didn't try it.
You know it's bad when your car gets stolen, you got insurance, you get the rental car, and then you wake up that very same night and they said, oh, snap, 2 for 1? This is a buy one, get one free. This is a buy one, get one free. I can't wait. Listen, Mr. Johnson over here in Philadelphia, we know you a hardworking man, but you work for us now. You work for us now. You are going to go and get both cars, and then we going to make sure that we come out here and get them both.
I jumped up, I said, give my gun.
Smith says by the time he got outside, those would-be thieves,
These young dummies around here,
were gone.
Gone.
But this time without his car, unlike a day earlier. Records and data uncovered by CBS News Philadelphia show the number of stolen cars this year in the city has skyrocketed and is approaching 17,000. That figure shatters all previous records.
So listen, the crime wave is not just happening in Chicago. Don't worry. I'm sure Chicago is going to bring themselves back to the front of the congregation. The crime wave is not just happening in St. Louis with the Golden Arches. The crime wave is not just happening in Portland and Seattle and San Francisco, and business owners and law-abiding citizens are making sure that they paying their taxes and they ain't going to work every day. It is a record number of vehicles that is getting stolen over here in Philly.
Do you think there was something wrong with those numbers?
I certainly had to double check, Joe. Yeah, absolutely. It was because the numbers were staggering.
Commanders with the Philadelphia Police Department tell CBS News Philadelphia there have been improvements in some categories of crime, but not stolen cars. Take, for instance, the data and numbers. In 2020, those stolen cars were 26% higher than the year before. Then it was 21%. Then last year, 36%. But now for this year alone, not even close to through, and we're almost 40% more stolen cars than last year.
Do I need to go and visit Philly? All right, listen. Maybe I need to put a poll in the chat. Y'all want me to go and visit Chicago and see what's going over there with the migrant crisis? Or y'all want me to go over there to Philly, and see the security guards walking around with guns in order for you to be able to order a cheesesteak? I know that no matter what it is that when I leave the airport, and maybe I need to get security to go with me and see what's happening out here in these streets, I know that I have to be very, very careful because I don't want them to be able to take advantage of me, not a little old Anton. I got Teach Hanley commercials to shoot. 30% off your first order plus a free gift. That link is in the description. Also tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat.
I couldn't believe the number of stolen autos that I was
Believe it, buddy.
On a related note,
Captain Jason Smith heads Philadelphia's Major Crimes Unit.
This is one of the only crime categories that we're losing.
The veteran commander says his detectives picked up on a pattern after a video surfaced on social media last year. A literal how-to steal a car involving turnkey ignition vehicles, Hyundais and Kias, just like Sonny Smith's car.
Where was the car parked?
Right here, where he's standing.
And it was a Kia.
And
you had heard about the Kias. They have this unfortunate, easy...
Well, I heard about it afterwards.
Yeah.
I went on TikTok and they showed you how to do it.
Does that shock you?
Yes, it shocked me. I said, why would the government even allow them to put that on there?
How to steal a car.
Exactly.
In fact, Kias and Hyundais account for 62% of all stolen cars in the city.
The numbers are overwhelming. Now, with these Kias and these Hyundais, what we are seeing is that the majority of our arrests do involve juveniles.
Hyundais. I'm gonna be reading that super chat shortly.
And again, like this, that's who's drawn to these, these TikTok videos, and that's where they're.
No, it'd be grown people watching these TikTok videos, buddy.
Police say every single day, several dozen cars are stolen. The 15th Police District, which includes Mayfair, is hardest hit.
This will be broken out, and again, they're very hard to get right now.
Auto body shops contacted by CBS News Philadelphia for this investigation called the rate of stolen cars crazy. They're swamped with business, but it's not a boom. At Mike's Auto Body Shop in the Northeast, managers there say once cars are recovered and brought in for repair, there's a long wait for Kia and Hyundai parts from the car maker.
And they can't tell you if it has been made yet, if it's sitting on a boat somewhere in the Pacific, if it's on its way from California to here. So I can't really communicate with the customer and say, we're talking 3 weeks, we're talking 9 weeks. It's one of those anomalies.
Investigators.
So basically what y'all telling me is that I got to be careful if I got a Kia or a Hyundai. I got a Hyundai. Look, I drove one in today. I'm having a good old time. I ain't never had one problem. It ain't even got 10,000 miles on it. Y'all actually was the ones that picked it for me. I got me a Hyundai. You see this? That big old H right there? Might not be able to see it with the lights. See my Hyundai? That's my Hyundai. Look at this. Boop, beep, boop. Look how sweet I am. I drive a Hyundai. I'm a regular person just like you. Y'all saying I need to gird up? Make sure that I watch out for the Kia boys because I don't want them out here trying to finesse me out of a bag. But y'all got other car problems out there in Philly too. I heard it's rough in Philly. I heard it's rough over in Philly. I heard that it's tough, rough and tough since some Afro puffs. Now rock on with your bad self.
A pregame town hall in South Philly tonight. Police opening the door for neighbors to ask them questions and to tell them what's on their mind.
Some in the community say they're dealing with a problem that's impacting their quality of life. Steve, what's going on?
Oh, hold on, Steve. Steve. Steve, are you trying to be a French model? Bonjour. Wait. You're not telling me that who over here, who from Philly? Philly, let me bring y'all to the front of the congregation. I have not cursed one time during this live stream. I have not cursed I have not cursed one time. I have been on my best behavior. I have fulfilled all of my promises and making sure that I do not curse one time on this live stream. Steve Keeley. How many of y'all are familiar with Steve over there in Philly? Who from Philly that's familiar with Steve? Steve dressed like this all the time? He over there with a leather jacket on and a wife beater and a tan. And a lace front. Oh, Steve said, I'm a bad bee. And my booty hole brown. I'm sorry. We got to get on with the show. What's happening over in Philly? What they giving y'all? What's in that fentanyl over in Philly? What they putting in the water? Who told Steve to come out here with a wife beater on and a leather jacket on the news? This how the news reporters is doing it all now? Good grief.
Yeah, it was a surprising issue for me that I didn't know about till I was at this meeting. Now, traditionally, for years and even decades, South Philadelphians have found free, safe parking right under I-95.
And his wet set is laid, sprayed, and to the side. Okay, Steve.
For miles. But
y'all news reporters going to stop distracting me and we're going to start getting to the story.
Now, suddenly, so have a few other people.
An absolute mess. An absolute mess.
South Philadelphia residents came out tonight to tell police and public officials about a different kind of tailgating going on right under their noses and right under I-95. People living in broken down cars and even in Winnebagos now parked along Front Street. We saw cars with all their windows covered from the inside. One car even with a gas can next to the driver's door, a bucket next to the passenger door, and a generator on its roof.
People living in cars, they cook with barbecues, everything.
People with generators on the roof living in the car, what are they generating in there? Is it heat? That's dangerous if they've got a small heater in there. I mean, it's a quality of life issue for us, and it's a quality of life issue for the people who are living.
People in Philly. You got to watch the Kia boys. But you know why you got to watch the Kia boys? It ain't because your insurance is going to go up and nothing. They trying to steal your home now. There is an outbreak of people that are now living in their cars, and sometimes the cars are broken down. Listen. It's getting worse every day. It's unprecedented. The amount of poverty that is happening across the United States of America, and it is getting cold outside. Did you know that I believe that the stat was like, it was something crazy, like 47,000 evictions in Atlanta since the beginning of the year. And they just really getting started because the moratorium just ended. So people that's getting evicted is going to skyrocket. In Atlanta alone, it was some crazy number. I forgot what the number was. I just was informed of it, and it was updated today. There was like a ton, like tens and tens and tens and tens of thousands of people that is evicted. And that's what I'm trying to understand. Like, okay, well, if you go over to Atlanta, the freeways is full during the daytime. Everybody out here wearing Balenciaga. Where everybody working at? Yo, to be living in your car, especially if you have children or you in a relationship or whatever like that, and you just in survival mode, and meanwhile they over here trying to have a conversation with you about the cost of living, inflation, and all of this stuff, y'all not paying attention. Y'all don't realize that homelessness and single parent households is the precursor to a suffering lifestyle for your children for the rest of your life. It is bad out here. It is bad. I was pissed at myself the other day over the weekend, or was that last week? Because I had finessed myself basically out of $8,000. I had lost $8,000 as a part of some of the processes that I was going through as far as building these properties. But then I was thinking to myself, $8,000 don't hurt me. I'm very blessed because I've made smarter decisions in my life. It rains on the just and the unjust. But my point is this: if people are living in their cars, especially in places where the weather is not going to be ideal the further we go into winter, and you got the possibility of getting your home stolen because you live in your car, that means that all of your personal belongings, if y'all have never seen homelessness, and I'm not talking about passing them on the street, I'm not talking about working in the soup kitchen during Thanksgiving. I've done a lot of volunteer work. I spent over a year, 52 weeks straight, working with homeless people voluntarily, just to better understand it, because it was a passion project of mine. And it's something that I largely forgot about, and I didn't continue to follow through with creating resources for it, but maybe one day I'll pick it up. I'm going to bring myself to the front of the congregation. If you don't understand homelessness is not, the face of homelessness is not just the drug addict and nothing like that. Most people that are homeless were one paycheck away from losing everything. Lifestyle. Decisions that they made in their life eventually caught up with them. I've learned that one of the biggest problems with homelessness is that they can't, and they have to figure out a way to protect their belongings as they go about doing whatever it is that they're going to do throughout the day. And the biggest problem is not necessarily what they're going to eat. It's not where they're going to sleep. It's whether or not they're going to get their stuff stolen. Even if they take their shoes off at night, even if they're in a shelter, a lot of times they're very worried about the idea that their shoes are going to be gone. Now imagine you living in your car and your car gets stolen. Imagine you living in your car and your car gets stolen. If you've never ever seen somebody with a homeless person that has a coat that then is designed to double as a blanket so that they can sleep in it at night, then you've never ever truly understood what it takes in order to survive on a day-to-day basis. And you telling me that y'all can't make the right adjustments in order to make the right lifestyle decisions, and you sitting here crying about what the federal government ain't doing for you and reparations and all of this other type of stuff. All you got to do is make the adjustments, make smarter decisions, and do things that's in your best interest, and you can't even do that? People would kill to be in your position.
I understand that we need to have social services involved, but we have rights too, and it comes to a point where if you're going to go out to somebody 20 times and ask them to relocate, and then you're going to tell me we can't do anything? Well, you can't do anything.
The area generally gets run down as a result of people living in those cars because they don't have the ability to go anywhere else, either to use the facilities or to put their garbage somewhere that'll be picked up responsibly. And I think this just multiplies the issue.
Yep. We know that it's illegal to live in a vehicle, and I think what we're trying to do is engage them with homeless services, offering them help. If they do not take those services, they need to move on, right? When we need to move on, we can't have them under 95 living there.
Well, no one in any of the cars living in these places under I-95 came out of those cars to talk to us tonight, including whoever's living in that Chrysler 200 over there.
Now, why would they come out there and talk to you in order to show their face and they living in a car? Why would they come out to talk to you in order to be put on the news and they living in a car? Jesus Christ. Shout out to Steve Keeley over there in Philadelphia that's doing some great reporter work with his wife beater and his pleather jacket on.
Tires, the front and back end smashed, and that generator up on the roof right across the street from both Target and the Acme here in South Philly.
And you know why it's across the street from Target? So that they can go and wash up and use the bathroom and be able to use their services, which then turns it into the same thing that California has been dealing with for an extended period of time.
Sheba, Jason?
Yeah, I know exactly where that is, Steve. So what happens now?
Well, it's hard to feel sorry for the people living with the people living with the folks in the cars, or the people actually living in the cars. Who do you feel sorry for more, or do you feel sorry for them both at the same time? And that is the city's dilemma right now.
What is Steve wearing? I can't even take this story serious because he got a dad bod, but he's strong at the top, a leather jacket that is not keeping him, a pleather jacket that's not keeping him warm. He got a tan. Did they catch him at the wrong time of the night and he just woke up and started going out there and reporting on this story? Steve, I'm not taking you serious. Shout out to Steve Keeley. Hey, y'all gonna have to get me a retired Chippendales model. Y'all gonna have to get me hip to what's going on. Oh, y'all got something in y'all fentanyl